New teasers of episode 3. What we know so far. On their YouTube channel, Glitch posted footage of a hand holding a torch, another where Pomni stands a bit anxious and a light falls on her, and we see that she is in a circus. Before that, we saw where Pomni and the Kingpin were standing with a hand in front of them and a big letter M on the mat. This is a reference to the haunted house. We also saw where Zubal and Cain were looking at each other ominously. We finally have some exciting news about episode 3 of The Amazing Digital Circus. It's been quite a while since we've received any updates, likely because Glitch Productions has been focusing on the final episode of Murder Drones, which is confirmed to be released on August 23rd. Now, thanks to Gooseworx's recent post on Tumblr, it seems we're getting closer and closer to the release of episode 3 of The Amazing Digital Circus. One of the images Gooseworx shared on her Tumblr came with the caption, "I love when lighting starts coming in, and I can start posting out-of-context screenshots without any elaboration." In this photo, we see Cain and Zubal, and it looks like they might be arguing. It's possible that Cain teleported into Zubal's room without her permission, just like he did with Pomni in the previous episode. Maybe Zubal is annoyed because she doesn't want anyone entering her room uninvited, which is perfectly understandable. The room in the image seems to be Zubal, given its yellow color, red couch, and the presence of a lamp, a setting we've never really seen before. Based on the painting on the wall, it seems to be a room inside the circus tent. It makes sense that it could be Zubal's room, as she is set to be a main character in the upcoming episode, along with Kinger. Alternatively, this could be another room in the circus, since this space lacks personal touches that you'd expect in someone's private area. Pomni room, for example, is clearly marked by her specific colors and toys that relate to her character. The circus is large, so it's also possible that Cain teleported Zubal somewhere else and they're having a discussion there. Zubal might not appreciate Cain trying to make her do something she's not interested in. However, it doesn't seem logical for her to get too angry, as showing anger might not be effective with Cain. As an AI, he might not understand emotions well, or maybe he doesn't process them the same way humans do. Looking closely at Zubal in the picture, you'll notice that her right antenna has changed to look like a unicorn horn. This could be a nod to some sketches Gooseworx shared on Twitter some time ago, where she drew herself with a unicorn horn. Her other antenna has also changed back from the yellow arrow to a black and white two-pronged stick. Zubal's wings have also undergone a change, from being completely pink to now having pink stripes on a yellow wing. Additionally, she's not wearing the black and white striped square chest piece seen in episode 2. One of her arms seems to have changed too, going from a purple stick with bumps to a blue stick. Since we can't see her full body, it's possible she has changed one or both of her legs as well. This brings up an interesting thought. Does Zubal have favorite body parts? Gooseworx once mentioned that Zubal has a Zubal box in her room, where she can choose different body parts to wear, swapping them as she pleases. Perhaps episode 3 will show us how this process works. Is it painful for her to change parts? It doesn't seem so, considering that Jax once removed her arm and used it as a back scratcher without causing her visible discomfort. She even lost her head and reattached it without any sign of pain. It seems like Zubal might be unique among the circus members in being immune to pain, or at least she has a high tolerance for it. Interestingly, we see Zubal wearing the black and white antenna from episode 1, even though it's episode 3, suggesting that she might like repeating certain outfits or combinations of body parts. My guess is that this image might be from the beginning of the episode, and perhaps Zubal and Cain aren't actually fighting. Knowing their personalities, it's likely that Cain is trying to persuade Zubal to join the others on an adventure, while Zubal is reluctant, feeling more annoyed than angry. Maybe Cain keeps pestering her about it, and she's losing her patience. It's also possible that Cain might eventually convince Zubal to go along, as the episode is supposed to focus on her and Kinger. So, if the story revolves around her, it would make sense for her to join the adventure. On the other hand, the plot might be divided, with Zubal staying behind, while the focus shifts to Kinger on his adventure. Considering how Gooseworx emphasized Zubal's dislike for adventures, this scenario could be possible. However, I hope Zubal will participate in at least one adventure, just to see how she would handle it. It would be interesting to see her exploring a place like the Haunted Mansion. Another thing we can infer about the next episode is that it will likely be the third day of Pomni time at the circus. The first 2 episodes covered days 1 and 2, So naturally, episode 3 would show her third day in this strange new environment. Pomni will still be adjusting to her new surroundings. Fans might finally get to see the highly anticipated scene where Kinger, armed with a shotgun, seems to be dealing with a trap door. This is a moment many have been eager to see since even before episode 2 was released. And what we see is a hand holding a torch. Now there are many theories as to who it belongs to. Some think it is Pomni's hand. Some think it is Jax's. They are trying to confuse us. Because if you look from the beginning, the hand looks like Jax's, but the glove itself doesn't look like his or Pomni's. Whose it really is then? Because we don't know much about what Jax will look like in episode 3. Even if we look at the part where he gets kicked out, his appearance hasn't changed much. Or when Pomni and Kinger are in that ominous room, and it's possible that Jax will go looking for them while Zubal is arguing with Cain. I'd love to hear your opinion on who that hand with the torch belongs to. The next one is where Pomni is standing there with a frightened face and looking up, as if either the roof of the tent has been broken by something, or this creature is standing in front of her, and what we see behind her is the tail of some monster or a shard of the tent. Also, Gooseworx posted on their Tumblr for parents not to show their 5-year-olds. And here we can assume that episode 3 will be seriously not for kids, as they said it before. But why a few days later they put up the exact opposite post, where Gooseworx is already saying that he may have overdone episode 3, and apologizing to everyone who expected it to be a groundbreaking masterpiece of existential horror, when it was basically just another silly circus episode with some creepy shit. Why is he saying that when already episode 3 is about to come out? I think they want to confuse us, or something has gone wrong since they're already late with the trailer. Share your theory with me in the comments, and I will definitely read them and add the best comments to the next issue. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video here.